Okay, so we understand how a horse thinks and functions, and we know that to work with them, we build a relationship with them and use pressure and release of pressure, or comfort versus discomfort, to train them. But what does this mean? How exactly do we do this? Basically, this is a way of rewarding good behavior and correcting bad behavior so that the horse chooses the right answer without being forced to, and so that we don't push the horse into that scared flight mindset. Let's start with an example. You want to halter train a horse. This means you want the horse to follow you when you have it on a lead rope. Your horse doesn't understand that you pulling on the lead rope means that it should follow and move forward. However, it is a little uncomfortable and confused about the pressure you have put on its face by pulling on that lead, because it hasn't felt anything like that before. It wants to find a way to make that pressure go away. So it's going to start trying a few different things, looking for the answer or the solution to getting rid of this physical and mental pressure or discomfort that you've put on it. First, it's probably going to raise its head, pull back, and balk. Now, this is where it's important not to stop. If the horse gets scared and starts pulling away, as they often will because of that flight response we talked about, but if it starts pulling away or trying the wrong behavior to escape the pressure, and you let go of the lead rope, you have rewarded the horse for the wrong behavior. The horse thinks, oh, that response worked. Pulling away was the right answer in that situation, and now you have just trained the horse to pull back when you put pressure on the lead. This is a mistake that gets made often. If the horse gets reactive and chooses the wrong answer, the person stops what they were doing and thinks they'll just try again later when the horse calms down. But that's not how it works out. The next time you try it, the horse will do the same thing even sooner, because you have created an understanding with the horse that the balking and pulling away is what you want, and now you've created a bad habit that will be hard to break. What you should do is just very calmly keep pressure on the rope as the horse works through its options. It may get reactive. After it tries balking and finds that pulling back won't work, it may try rearing. Then it may try pulling sideways, and it may get messy for a while. But eventually, the horse will try the correct answer, and it will take one step forward. Immediately drop the pressure on the rope and give the horse a moment to mentally recover and realize that it has found the right answer and that the pressure is gone. Then you can try again. The horse may go through all those other options again, however, it will likely take less time the second time around for the horse to try stepping forward. Then, like before, you will immediately drop the pressure on the rope the moment it steps forward. But eventually, we want a lot more than one step, right? We want the horse to follow us easily wherever we walk. So once the horse has got a good understanding and can consistently take that one step forward, we're going to ask for a little more. We're not going to drop the pressure right away. We're going to wait until the horse takes 2 steps forward. The horse might become confused again and get reactive because what worked before isn't working now. That's okay. Just go through the same process again, and it will figure out that you are asking for the same thing, just with a little more effort. It's important to remain calm throughout this process. A horse will feed off how you are feeling. If the horse gets reactive trying to look for the right answer, and you get upset and reactive yourself, maybe try pulling harder to force the horse forward, you're not going to get anywhere. The horse is just going to try harder to resist you and get away and be stuck in that scared flight mindset. Now, it's normal for a horse to get in that reactive flight mindset sometimes. Usually, we don't want to push a horse to that point if we can prevent it. We like to go in those smaller steps so the horse doesn't get overwhelmed, and we work up to bigger things. But sometimes it's just one of the answers a horse has to try to figure out that it won't work. You have to be calm, patient, but firm throughout the whole process. If you are struggling and just not getting the right answer out of the horse, maybe you are asking too much too soon, and you need to go back to the basics, breaking things down into those smaller steps. For example, if you tried to get 5 steps forward before the horse even understood 1 step, you wouldn't be able to make that happen, and the horse would probably just learn to avoid you and not want to be caught. Other times, if the horse isn't moving or reacting at all, you may need to wave a flag behind the horse or tap its butt with the end of your lead. This adds a little more mental pressure to the horse so that it is motivated to work through its options and figure out how to make that go away. Because each horse is a unique individual and will respond differently to different situations, you often have to get creative with how you break things down into little steps or how you add pressure depending on the horse's needs. I think another topic I should briefly discuss is treats as a reward. Treats are something that some people use, but I don't. I have found that once you start giving the horse treats as a reward, they expect it every time, and you will lose the behavior when you stop giving them treats for it. The reward should be the release of the pressure or the comfort of not having that pressure on them anymore, because that is something they will always get every time. One thing that is important to consider is pain. You want to make sure that a horse is not choosing the wrong answer because it is hurting. For example, generally, if a horse is biting you in saddling, it could just be testing its limits and trying to see who outranks who today. Or the saddle could be fitting it improperly and causing the horse pain when you ride, so it doesn't want to be saddled. If the correct behavior is causing the horse pain and you don't realize it, you're not going to get anywhere with training, and the horse is going to learn a lot of bad habits. So that is something to always keep in mind. Maybe the reason a horse doesn't want to get in the trailer is because it got hurt in the trailer last time. If this is the case, you will want to readjust your training and mindset a little bit. Does the horse always balk at being bridled? Maybe its teeth have gotten sharp and it needs some dentistry work done. Pain is something you always want to rule out, especially if you are struggling teaching a horse something. And remember, when we train, we work with discomfort, not pain. We might make a little mental discomfort by waving a loud flag or taking a dominant position with our body. We may put some pressure on the horse by pulling on a lead. We don't want to try and beat the horse or use pain to get a response. You can't build a solid, trusting relationship that way. Of course, this doesn't mean you can't smack the horse if it is biting you or being aggressive, but it does mean that we won't unless it's necessary for our safety, for example.